So I'm just a stupid dog, but this is how I can tell the man's really kind of getting ready to go off the deep end. He's in a dry out period where he's starting to partake a little bit. He's sworn off of the hard stuff. He's not drinking any bourbon. He's kind of doing a little bit of Bud Light Platinum every once in a while. He keeps telling me, he says, I'm only drinking 10% of the time. In the last 60 days, I've only drunk 6 days out of the last 60 days. I was like, gosh, that's pretty good, buddy. You're doing pretty good for yourself. But yet, I could tell he's getting a little freaky. He's getting a little weird. And how I know for sure, he's got lint brush mania. This lint brush mania started with him always worrying about trying to take the lint brush to the couch. And it's a little bit what you would say, it's a little unnerving to me because it's all about me. It's all because I shed hair. It's all about dog hair. So it's a little off-putting. It's what you kind of say. He's trying to treat me like I'm a second-class citizen. But I was like, I can take it, if he's just, taking the lint brush to the couch. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just a nonstop phenomenon. He doesn't quit, and he does it until he doesn't get a single hair. He goes through like about 10 sheets. He takes about a half hour to try to lint brush the couch. Well, that's how it started, and I was all right with that, because I was like, hey, I'm a dog, I shed. But by God, he starts taking the lint brush to the lampshades, to every stick of furniture. He's running the lint brush across the floor. I'm like, vacuum the floor. What are you doing? He vacuums the floor, and then he takes the lint brush to the floor. He says he's got a lot of allergies and it's his sinuses. I think he's going off the deep end because he's not drinking enough alcohol. I think the man should just try to, every once in a while, just have a cocktail, have a little bit of bourbon. It'd do wonders for you. This lint brush mania, every night before he gets in bed, he's got to take the lint brush to the bed. He's going back and forth, back and forth. He does each side of the pillows. He does each side of the sheet. He does the entire bed. He strips the blankets down, does the whole bed, then he puts the blankets on, does each side of each blanket. It's like a 45-minute process this guy has to lint brush his bed before he gets in and go to sleep. Well, that's not the worst part. The worst part, he went and he got a haircut. And the man can be kind of stubborn, especially when he's not drinking. When he's drinking, he's a lot more laid back. He goes and gets a haircut. He looked pretty decent, but for some reason he decides he's not going to take a shower. I'm like, I'm an imbecilic dog. I know when you go get a haircut, buddy, the first thing you got to do is take a shower. Not him. He's like stubborn about it. He's sitting there, starts itching all over his back. I'm like, bud, you're going to have to take a shower. He's like, I'm not taking a shower. It's just a trim. I don't need a shower. I said, you're freaking out. It's like you think there's a bunch of gnats or something, a bunch of horseflies biting you. You're smacking yourself. You're scratching yourself. He gets up. He strips some of his clothes off down to the T-shirt. He sits back down. I said, what do you think that's going to do? You still got hairs all over yourself. He takes his T-shirt off. He turns it inside out and he puts it back on. I was like, bud, you're going to have to take a shower. He gets in bed. I hear him like he cannot get comfortable. He's rolling and tossing and turning. He's got little hairs stabbing all into him. About the middle of the night, I hear this funny noise. I come out from under the bed and I look, and there stands the man in the abject nudity, totally stark naked, and he's lint brushing his entire body. The man has invented a lint brush shower. I said, Bo, what are you doing? Go take a shower, for God's sake. 3, 4, 5 sheets. He's rolling them up and down his back, all over his neck, over top of his head. He's pulling some of his own good hairs out along with the loose hairs. I said, buddy, do you realize you're the first man I've ever known in the history? I heard of a cologne shower, a shower at the sink. You're trying to, take a washcloth at the sink. You've invented the lint brush shower. Congratulations. He didn't even care. He went through the whole process again. He got done lint brushing himself, giving him a lint brush bath, and then he got into the bed again, and he jumped back up like 2 seconds in and gave the whole bed another lint brushing. It's a hard thing. I keep saying, buddy, I think you need to go ahead and start drinking a little bit, because once you invent the lint brush shower, it might be an indication that a little bit of bourbon, I'm sure if you went to your doctor, he would say, yeah, it's okay. Knowing what I know, if you tell him the whole truth, the doctor's going to say, yeah, knowing what I know, I think you should probably, partake a little bit. It's okay. You should, like for medicinal purposes, like the old ladies on the Waltons, you should probably go ahead and do a little bit of the, the recipe. Get a little bit of intoxication going for yourself, because you're going off the deep end, and the whole, whatever, it's all right, I guess.